There's nothing that'll wake you up more when you go to pass somebody and suddenly you've got a couple deer deciding they're going to cross the road. Oh, well. Ah. Fortunately, the brakes work very well on this thing, and so does the horn. But that's a thrilling Thursday morning, thing for you. Here we are, 3 days from the regen, the big centenary special, and RTD is apparently giggling and laughing at all of us because word is he did the final scene for this episode, and I'm like, he did? Oh well. But it's going to be kind of weird to see how we wind up with David Tennant. There's been a number of theories out there as to how it happens. I'm just hoping it ain't one of them Bobby, they wake up and Bobby's in the shower or something like that deals. Wouldn't mind if they woke up and Missy was in the shower, but that's a whole nother subject. Yeah, I'm loving how suddenly there's all this comment activity. Especially we got one guy who's sitting there ranting on and on about how no one's going to like the special. I'm like, that's funny because you're the only one on this channel saying that. It's like, don't you feel like the lonesome pine? That one tree that's standing out there in the middle of the field and none of the other trees will go around it because that tree is a dick. But okay. It's like you can think, I love that. Having Ace and take it back is just nostalgia. It's like, really? So having Sarah Jane back in series 2 of the new show was nostalgia? One of the highest rated episodes they ever had? But having Tegan and Ace back is going to be, somehow detrimental to the show. My God, where are they getting this crap from? Well, then again, I have suspects. I was on Amino, and I'm like, they took my video down because the thumbnail was a possible spoiler. And I'm like, guys, it's a thumbnail. There's no guarantee that that's even a scene from the show. It was probably, and even if it was, we all know the Doctor's regenerating. So how can it be a spoiler? And also, if you actually watch the video, this is what I told one of the admins, I was like, I'm discussing why this isn't a spoiler. Read the title. The big regeneration leak that wasn't. Because it wasn't. And I even told them, even if there was anything to report on, there would be a spoiler tag in the title like I've always done over there. And I don't know what to say. It's just, the internet used to be a source of free speech where reasonable-minded people could go out, and say pretty much anything they want. And now it's watch your language unless you have more than 10,000 subscribers. Don't use any copyrighted material unless you're a reaction channel with more than 10,000 subscribers. And trust me, YouTube does play favorites. Yeah, and sadly, the real news has been lost a long time ago. And trust me, that's one thing I've seen in my lifetime is how news went from being informative to being, entertainment. And how it went from telling you about events that actually happened to having a bunch of talking heads sitting there discussing why it probably did. And it's like, well, how come you can't tell me what happened and then let me make up my own mind about it? It's gone pretty much from being factual to editorial. And And even then, the editorials aren't really that well spoken. It's more like, entertainment. As I said, it's see, that's the problem. Whenever a new doctor comes in, someone just brought that up. They're always a bit, afraid. Like I said, it's going all the way back to Troughton. When Troughton was first cast, he's like, great, I don't want to be the one that kills Doctor Who. What if what if the public don't like me? Blah blah blah. And now to add on top of that, you've got the quote unquote so-called influencers. I hate that title. That to me is just so, scary. Influencer. No, it's called an entertainer. But then when, they cast Jodie, like I said, that's when they really started throwing a fit, throwing these words around. And it's like, I just love how, out there right now, you got a gaggle of uninformed idiots being called influencers. And it's like they let it go to their head. It's Yep. Sadly, for the time being, we aren't going to be getting any more animations for a while. BBC America pulled their funding. I love, BBC America is becoming the redheaded stepchild of the BBC empire, I guess, because, we're not going to simulcast the show. It's like, dude, you're just begging for failure at that point. Like I said, one of the best, like I said, I didn't count on the show doing well on BBC America, especially on Sunday night. Because on Sunday night, by the time they air it, people are getting geared up for like The Walking Dead, Sunday Night Football, and things like that. Yet, guess which numbers were being quoted the most because they were the lowest? It was BBC America. And it's like BBC America is a separate arm. It makes its money off commercials. And the fact they're not going to simulcast the Centenary special is just beyond me. I'm like, come on, TV New Zealand is simulcasting. For crying out loud. We're not going to show it till 8 o'clock in the evening after everybody's already watched it, via VPN to a stream or whatnot. So I got thrown on my train of thought. And I love how the show's dying, the show's being a disaster, and I'm like, dude, go take a look at the ratings for like one of the seasons of The Walking Dead, if I'm right. It was like went from an average of 12 million viewers down to like 3 million in the one thing. I gotta go double check the figures. But it's like that's because they're not watching it on the channel anymore for the most part. They're watching it streaming. Also, Walking Dead's been tottering on for only 11 seasons, and they're closing it up this year. Meanwhile, this new series of Doctor Who, they seem to keep forgetting that show came back in 2005. And here we are in 2022, it's still going along. Oh, well, like I said, it's just been a weird morning on the way in here today. Plus, yeah, I took the day off yesterday. We had some things to do there, and it's like, so now it's kind of weird. I'm going to walk back in here for the next 2 days, and we're off for the weekend. Yeah, Saturday was canceled, or actually it was wasn't scheduled for this week, which is astounding for a change. It seemed like everyone for the last, 3 months were scheduled to work, and we only worked like one of them. Yeah, no, a lot of people keep bringing up, like, Voyage of the Damned, and I'm like, I tried mentioning this on another show, and I was rudely cut off. But that was back before there was even, a streaming site, if I remember right, for the BBC at that point, if I remember correctly. Or it was just getting off the ground. And you can't compare ratings from the beginning of this series to now, because it's been on a long time. It's been going on 17 years now. Also, the fact that in that 17 years, you've got multiple streaming platforms. Yeah. I heard they're claiming he wrote the last scene. Now, the Radio Times is claiming that their preview episode, they got everything but the last minute. I heard from the press screening, I think they cut off the last 10 minutes, which I'm glad they did, because, come on, well, we invited a couple of social media influencers at a, clean-cut past. What planet did they come from? But okay, but it's like, I love how these guys are still complaining. It's like, I don't know why, because even if the series were canceled tomorrow, Jodie Whittaker is the Doctor and will always be. You can't take that away. That it's done. It's carved in the stone of history, and it cannot be undone. Okay, guys. Well, I got to get going. I just looked at the time. Please take care of yourselves out there, and each other. Be kind, be calm, be safe. Enjoy your Thursday. And we'll see you all tomorrow in the parking lot. Until then, have a good one, everyone.